And reality stars or singers or actors or models, you wonder if they had a little tightening here, a little added part here, a little filler here, a little this, a little that. Now, the Kardashians have been around for quite some time, at least 10 years, it seems so, at least 10 years. And they've had many transformations, both physically, and they admit their physical work. They admit their plastic work, which I mean, hey, if you got it, you've got the money, you've got the time, you want to get it done, go ahead. I have nothing against that. But one thing about women and the fashion sense that certain women seem to herald, seem to say, this is the way you should look, right? I mean, if you look at the old movies, for instance, I mean, you didn't see the huge breasts. You saw very slim. Everyone, like in the 40s, they were all very skinny, like you watch the old movies. And then, and then the ones in the 70s and the 80s, the bouffant hair, or even the hair of the past, like the whole, you know, the whole kind of like horn look, Baphomet look, hairdos. And then the hairdos of the the 60s, the straight hair, everything had to be straight, I mean, curly and da-da-da-da. So, I mean, there's all different fashion sense. But right now, we seem to have coming out of or still in tune with a fascination that's kind of body fascination. It's been the tits, the breasts, for like quite some time. But quite some time, for like the last 5 years, has changed from the breast, or maybe they still keep the big breasts. But now it's the big backside. Now, Khloe Kardashian has had many transformations. She's gotten herself very glammed up, and she's very responsible image. However, we've seen some of her commercials about her backside. I mean, you always notice her backside. I mean, her backside. It's hard to think of her, Khloe Kardashian, without thinking of her butt, her derriere, her behind. Now, is that behind real? Can you really see? Now, you exercise, right? You exercise one glute cheek to the other cheek. It has a certain shape. It seems to have this beehive look, like a bumblebee look of this. It's out of control. It's so huge. And it's like, look at my big cheeks. Okay. Now, I personally don't think a big cheek, humpback ape look is attractive. Now, I mean, okay, so twerking and all that, you get a certain, it's like, but a huge behind. And all the Kardashians, except maybe the oldest one, seem to like really find that attractive. Seem to like really big tits, big behind, big this, big that, big that. So let's like ask now, we know that she's had a lot of work done on her face, and it's an improvement. She looks fabulous. She looks fabulous. She looks fabulous. And I like the way that she had her kids. She keeps a distance. She keeps herself quiet. She takes care of the other ones, her other nieces and nephews. And she's involved in family, her mother's family, her own family. And she also takes care of her baby's daddy's family to some degree, too. I mean, she's very commendable. But let's see, is her backside, is her behind all hers? She says all the other things she's went through, and she's went from the least attractive to one of the most gorgeous creatures around with the help of her pocketbook, her entrepreneurial sense, her advisors, her plastic surgeons. Now, did she? Hi, how are you? You can barely see. Well, listen, do you think you know Khloe Kardashian, right? You do know her, right? And you also know that she's very proud of her backside. Now, is it real? Is it real? Did she have a butt implant? Did she have the implants in her backside? Let's look at this. Now, which one I get is backside or not? Does she have is she stuffed? Stuffed with what? Stuffed with what? Her hat? I can't see that. That backside is huge for that body proportions. The muscles can only do so much. I mean, they can only in so many directions. And what is the beauty of having a big ass, a big behind, a big ass? Okay, is that it? Is that hers? Is that hers? Or is it something that she paid for? Did God give her that big backside? You see early pictures of her backside. They do not look like the backside she has today. Okay, so she got it together and she exercises. But no exercise I'm going to, no, cosmos, universe, make a backside like that. You have help from a lot of help. I need somebody's help. Is that her backside? It's hard to. I look at the cards and I pick the backside. The back. I'm looking at the backside of the cards, though. But I just wonder. I mean, for somebody who admits all the work that they've had, and they can't come straight about having implants, and you wonder, did all the sisters have implants, except maybe the oldest one, and maybe the Kendall? He doesn't seem to be really much like, look at my back, big backside. And I think trying to attract a certain type of male who likes a big caboose. Her caboose is huge. All right, let's see. You just pick these. Let's just see. What do they say? Now, the first one we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups. Well, she's obviously putting the big backside to favor certain people, certain males who like big backsides, a big ass. The King of Cups. She could be, this is the way we have a stomach and a big behind, and 6-inch stilettos. Big backside. King of Cups. It's hard to read the King of Cups with a big back. Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles. What do you think? Page of Pentacles. The idea of one thing about the backside is I was living in Miami Beach for a while, and this old man, there was this fountain on Lincoln Road that the old guys used to like to sit on, and they would just sit there and look at people's women's backsides, because they said when you got old, that's the first thing that goes is the backside. So when you see a very plump, in shape behind, it means it's vitality, it's everything, the seat, the base of the spine. But for the old people, that's a symbol of power, a symbol of, you still got life. So maybe that's the whole really thing about the backside, the big backside, the big hiney. It's like a vitality thing, right? If I got a big seat, maybe I don't, I can go the 9 yards. And then here we have the Queen of Wands. Again, it's like a symbol of power to have a big ass, a big tuchus, a big behind. Does she have Queen of Wands? 3 of Cups, 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords. We have all this positivity here, all this like King of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, Queen of Wands. I'd say, but we have this 10 of Swords. Now, we do know that anytime you stick artificial synthetic substances into your body, sometimes the body rejects it. No, but we're not. I would say from this reading, we're not talking about her physical rejection of her body tissue. We're talking about is her behind real? I would say that she'd like to think it was real, but it's not real. Because we have this 10 of Swords here. This 10 of Swords, the Queen of Wands. I mean, Khloe has been trained in many ways, to bend to the male gaze, the fantasy male gaze, the the fantasies of beauty, the fantasies, I'll put it that way, the fantasies of beauty. And she hides behind those fantasies. I would say it's an illusion. I would say that her backside isn't real. I would say that she has implants and that her backside, King of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Queen of. The fact that we have a tenant, we have all this positivity in one way, controlling the emotions, the flavor, and the money. And I would say again, there's a marketing aspect to this, a marketing aspect. And that's one thing she has a hard time acknowledging, that she has implants in her backside because of health wise and because that's her MO, her, her logo, right? Her logo. And if she was to acknowledge the fact that her backside is not real, it's searchable. If you want whatever you want to put, it's your prerogative. But she finds that she admit the fact that it's plastic. Okay, that's all I got to say about Khloe Kardashian's hiney. Her backside is implants. What do you think? All right, I'm going to thank you for the one line. That's kind of ridiculous in a way to talk about somebody's backside, but since it is, we do see those commercials on television, we see them on cable, we see them, and again, they were trying to make women come to a certain state of beauty. Is this beauty or is this just prophecy, a fling, anime? Is it something? It's something that's not biological, right? Something that's not biological. However, Americans don't like to say the obvious. Huh? Well, Khloe, if you want to do this, go ahead and do it. If you want to keep it to yourself, we'll stop sticking it in everybody's face. That's all I say. Until the next time, thank you very much. Bye-bye.